And if you're just joining us, welcome. This is New Day, your favorite weekend show on Signature Television. Welcome also to our newspaper headlines and review. First up, Sunday Punch. Just above the mast, Obasanjo Oshibanjo lead tribute at Adebanjo's burial. Fresh storm hits Wike Fubara peace talks on page 7. And just below the mast, 2027 PDP governor strike deal with Wike, with riders inside FCT minister PDP reps meeting in Lagos. Atiku kicks as party chieftains want ex-VP out of presidential race. In other news, Tinubu vows to reclaim communities from terrorists. And 20,000 asylum seekers await registration in Nigeria, according to report. 80-year-old Colombian dies after 4 months in Lagos hotel. Still on Sunday Punch, how U.S. Yoruba village sparked row between Alaafin and Oni. Why translators choose Esu for Satan in Yoruba Bible, coming from BSN General Secretary Sanusi. Finally, on the Sunday Punch, opposition governors reconsider move to APC. Next up, the Sunday Times. EFCC probes ex-NMPCL GMD, Kyari, others of alleged mismanagement of funds. Nigeria loses $17.72 billion annually to illicit financial flows, coming from Minister. Shetima, African leaders attend Gabon president's inauguration. Obasanjo Oshibanjo orders bid farewell to Adebanjo. 2025 World Press Freedom Day. NHRC seeks framework to address AI challenge. Tension as Nigerian army clash with ISWAP terrorists in Yobe. On e-commerce projected to hit $6.56 trillion in 2025. And finally, on the Sunday Times, police named 3 suspects recover firearms in Akwa Ibom. Over to this day, just above the mast, Zenith Bank, 9 others begin 2025 on positive momentum. Report 1.83 trillion naira profit in first quarter. Just below the mast, in Katsina, Tinubu vows to secure forests, enhance surveillance in Northwest. Melekiari, I'm ready to give account of my service and denies arrest. And finally, on this day, paying last respects to Pa Adebanjo. Next up, Sunday Tribune. Above the mast, Fulani group links Benue killings to ban on open grazing. With rider police arrest man paid 180,000 naira to fight in Plateau. 15,000 doctors left Nigeria for abroad in 5 years. Enemy president says 1 doctor now attends to 8,000 patients. And below the mast, will reclaim forests from terrorists and others, says Tinubu. Adebanjo worked, labored for true federalism, coming from Archbishop Fape. Manufacturers raise concern over proposed 4% charge on goods by customs. The cable's documentary on Malibu scandal to air on TV. Nigeria needs radical restructuring of its federal structure, coming from Professor Gambari. And finally, on the Sunday Tribune, threat to leave Nigeria does not absolve you of liabilities, federal government tells Facebook and Instagram. Then over to the Sunday Independent, just above the mast, Tsunami Tinubu as caption, options before opposition by stakeholders, with riders say opposition must prioritize internal cohesion. P2B, not Tinubu, is Tsunami, coming from Onovo. One man, one gun, rise of agitation for self-defense. Ayatutu professors insist on communal defense. The state has failed the people, says Imaswagbon. More investment in tech, surveillance underway, Tinubu assures. Khan backs US peace talks with MacBan. Federal government can stop killings in middle bells if it wants, coming from Pauline Tallinn. And finally, exit threats. Nigeria calls Meta's bluff, insists on legal accountability. Well, that's the much you can take on our newspaper headlines over 2-hour review. Chris the Oracle Maduka is in the studio as always to do justice to that. Good morning, Chris. Aren't you looking dashing this morning?
You started again. Thank you.
I can't help it. Everybody, I can't help it.
Chiki, if you look dash, don't dash me away.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, you're not looking that bad.
Thank
you.
You
just smash it.
Can you tell I'm blushing? Can you tell I'm...
I can see
okay,
it.
I'm excited.
But that's wonderful. Thank you. Welcome to another day. It's bright and early.
That's right.
We thank God for life, and that's the opportunity to be here again.
Indeed.
Well, from Punch, Pa Adebanjo goes home, and like we said, like the very bold, sincere, in the last days of his life, he stood for, he came out boldly despite all opposition, despite even from being, and he doesn't want to sound politically right, he came out to say what Nigeria should do to have peace. He fought against marginalization, and he wasn't happy at what has been done to certain tribes in Nigeria when he died. And we said Nigeria is not just to do pomp and pageantry to send people like him home during burials. They should study whatever they stood for, and they were shouting and, because whatever any child, a small child is crying and pointing fingers at, if the mother is not there, the father is there, or a relation they trust. So, Pa Adebanjo, may your soul rest in peace. May the angels of heaven sing you to sleep. Fubara, the peace talk, gathers moist again, and it says storms in the peace talk with Fubara. But I think the person who is saying that is an interested party in the case, so he doesn't, if the outsiders are saying this, you can stop to say. But the person who is saying that, Fubara is begging, begging the president to bring him back to his position as elected governor of Rivers State. But he's sponsoring women, Rivers women to riot. It's suspect because the paper reported yesterday that Fubara just came back on 2 weeks holidays in Germany, which was good for his mental health and all those kind of things. If he comes back and they find out that the Rivers women have been asking for sin, which means Fubara. It means the Rivers women are still standing for what the loyalty of the Rivers women.
That was the
so, because in other platform I was asking, where are the men? Why is it only women? Because we saw the video of that. It was organic crowd of the Port Harcourt city were filled with women dressed in red.
In red, yeah.
And they were protesting and shouting, "Give us sin." And initially I thought it was their SIM card that was missing. But
we all know the
somebody
SIM.
says
we all know the SIM they are talking about.
Yeah, it was SIM Fubara that the Rivers women are asking for. And I said, if the women of Rivers State has grown such balls, then the men of Rivers State should. Because I said, assuming the president hits the voice of Rivers women and brings Fubara back, it's the men that were the forced to round up and start making claims and wanted to reap where they didn't sow. Another argument said, but the women are not alone. Most of them are married, so they must have the support of their husband.
They are taking a different strategy, I guess. The men are there behind the scenes.
So one of the old governors of Anambra State said in Igbo, all politics are I said, whatever that means, this is all about politics, whichever way it works out. What we are looking for at the bottom of the soup plate is either meat or fish. So if it doesn't work, Or it was.
Exactly my point.
For a statement to go. So whatever
Exactly my
strategy
point.
the Rivers people are using to get sin back, we wish whoever is holding
All the
their
best.
sin should release their sin so that they can make calls. That is, by the way, PDP 2027 PDP
Yes,
governor strike deal
with
with
Wike.
I feel it's whatever deal they're striking. Wouldn't they have struck this deal a long time? Is it that, I don't know, if why got to this level to strike deal? And what kind of deal are you striking? Is it that you now are bowing to pressure to say that the strong man weaker?
Or do you think there's a bargain here too? Because they gave the primaries in 2023 to Atiku, and now probably he wants Atiku out as the presidential flag bearer. Maybe that is the
Yeah, because the writer on that note said that Atiku kicks as party chieftains one.
So they want to trade.
XP, the
It
VP
seems as though
of presidential
they want to
race.
trade.
Whatever deal they're striking, the idea is that in politics you must strike deals. We only wish them good luck. They better strike a better deal instead of Ipiogli, no okay. When you carry the ogri, okay likes ogri, and you carry ogri, go put inside the mouth of okay. Is like Tony Montana in the film. Scarface says, he said, I like killing Americans for fun, but when you give me $1, I'll cut them river. So it's like in Igbo, Ebon Agumai, Kayayoi, Kanoliadi. And my friends from Cameroon said that opposite Dakar, So let's move on. PDP, good luck. Strike more deals. Everything you are doing in Nigeria, you are politicians, you are aiming to 2027. Nobody is talking about 2025. It's like you guys have given up on our hunger and hardship and all the killings and terror in Nigeria. Tinubu vows to reclaim the communities from terrorists. We have had that several times. We are waiting for the actions, 20,000 asylum seekers await registration in Nigeria. And that brings my mind is that
asylum seekers,
in Nigeria, do people seek asylum in hell? And then Nigerians are not only people that
are really asylum seekers.
But these are suspects.
Yes.
Because with this level of terrorism and banditry in Nigeria, I don't know who these asylum seekers are. Because
where are they coming from?
A lot of people have said that whatever Nigerians are suffering now due to terrorism and banditry, most of them are not Nigerians. So let it not be that the people who are seeking asylums are the people who are doing us down. The people authorities are called to mop up actions to make sure that you cannot make a baby to sit. A baby who is trying to sit, you got the baby to sit down very well. And you that got baby to sit down,
fell off.
You just roll over. It becomes suspect. So 80-year-old Colombian dies after 4 months in Lagos
Hotel.
Probably the 80-year-old Colombian is on holiday and is taking time out for his last days. But this
in
is
a Lagos hotel?
Yes, he came from Colombia.
To die in a Lagos hotel?
He decided to die wherever. You can decide to die wherever you want to die, So, but this is suspicious, and when hoteliers in Nigeria notice such things, it's not just to collect money, because chop and die is not good.
There's been one death in the hotel room, too many.
So it can lead to several diplomatic issues and a lot of police, after you come and answer, I follow, I no follow. Can consume man hours.
But then there are other sinister events that happen in Nigeria.
There are. We are just talking about it. At 80 years, Colombian, the other one may not, but we have heard of Nigerians who travel from Abuja to go to Ife for exam, the postgraduate student who is doing masters, and he entered the hotel management and all. Thank God they've gotten judgment. Because the young man, that's the end of his life. Everybody working in such hotel, they call it the hotel of horror. The doomsday hotels. We are calling for Nigerians to be more careful because things are no more the same. I'm interested in this, why the translators chose Eshu for Satan in Yoruba. Eshuoro. That's from the General Secretary of Bible Society of Nigeria. So it's like when you want to talk why the English Igbo translator choose Ekwensu as Satan in Igbo Bible, it calls for deeper reflection. But Eshu is Eshu, Ekwensu is Ekwensu. And they stand
Are they
for
the
one
same?
thing.
Do they mean the same? I mean, literally, do they translate into the same?
Yes.
Because Ekwensu actually means once he presents this problem. That's what Ekwensu.
Equal.
So if you agree,
so Eshu is also on his own. If you give in to Eshu,
I'm just trying to understand what Eshu actually translates literally to what Ekwensu.
That is what Eshu is in Yoruba Bible to Igbo Bible. So if you ask, what is the opposite? What is the synonym of Eshu in Yoruba translation? It is Ekwensu in Igbo. I don't know what it is in other. We have about 400 tribes in Nigeria. So when they start giving us what Ekwensu is, we can put it together. But I know that Ekwensu for whatever it is or Eshu, they stand for negativity and
evil,
the malevolent spirit. And his power over Nigeria now is so high. On a Sunday morning like this, we should be in the church shouting, down, down, Satan, up. EFCC probes ex-NNPCL GMD.
The man insists
the Sunday Times bold headlines over alleged mismanagement of funds. I don't know what probe is. $3.7 billion. They were calculated at about 80
No, it's $3 million translated to 80 billion
naira found in one person's account. But Nigerian banks are wonderful. So one person can hold such account in Nigeria, and I know talking about corruption. So the banks are also suspect. And I know that most of these corrupt monies, if they pulled out of Nigerian bank system, they won't be declaring their kind of money they're declaring as profit. Because they are doing round robin and they are looking for a problem where there's no problem. When a man will have 80 billion in his account, single account, and the EFCC and the ICPC and all the graft agencies are running around catching small Nigerian boys in the name of Yahoo and fraud. What bigger fraud can this? So if they catch, how many young Nigerians did they catch that will make up for 80 billion in one person's account over time? Is this because they just changed the administration? That's why the thing came up. Otherwise, I didn't see anybody who has such boldness to go and probe or look into the accounts of these officials. Nigeria, the way you make your mouth, you rhyme it. And that brings us to this day, above the marks, Zenith Bank, 9 others begin 2025 in positive momentum. They are reporting 1.83 trillion profit in quarter one, just first quarter of 2025. They are going on with this. And I said, a comedian said that every day you see Nigerians line up at the ATM to withdraw money. But when you ask them, they say there's no money in the country. And now say, what are they withdrawing? Are they withdrawing their seeds? So eventually, for the banks to be declaring this kind of profit, when there is hunger and hardship and people are crying, probably they're declaring their sins, because this money, I don't think is direct bearing on Nigerian economy.
No.
This is suspicious. So the Nigerian banking system is also servicing. Is servicing corruption. And then, and so Nigerians, like somebody sometimes described us, we are pretty corrupt nation. So let's go to Tribune, who will reclaim forest from terrorist orders, says Tinubu. That's good news. We wish our president, Jagaban himself, good luck as he wants to reclaim all the inhabited places for Nigeria, because our territorial integrity is being eaten like, what do you call it, caterpillar. This ant they call caterpillar in autumn, summer morning. the way he will nibble at you, before you know it, he's finished the whole forest. So these terrorists that are nibbling at our forest and our territory, it's high time the presidency and all the people working or who have our fate in their hands give us faith to be in Nigeria.
Speaking of which,
most people are jackpying out of Nigeria, not because they want to, it's because of...
It's something I wanted to call your attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, in relation to the terrorism, Fulani group links Benue killings to ban on open grazing. Is this someone trying to justify Benue killings, saying, hey, the killings had to happen because there's ban on open grazing?
But it's also from that Benue, is it Plateau, that we learned that the grazing reserve has been given to the Fulani headers, just effort to get back. I do not think that when there is such issues that you start killing people, the people you are killing, are they the people who have taken over your grazing reserve, or that you have to kill people to graze in their farms, and then who will eat the cow meat when you finish grazing and they get them fat? So let it not be the oil money. There is nothing that is worth the life of any Nigerian. So whoever is making such argument is devilish and satanic. If you like what they eat during burials, you should die. Let people come and eat at your burial. You should die. Because the person who is saying this must come from one Nigerian village or somewhere. Let the people come and graze in your grandparents' farm and kill everybody off. And then you have peace. If you think you can justify killing people to have grazing reserve, we have problem. It's not by killing ourselves that we will sort that out. So, if there is desert encroachment, there should be some kind of a government policy to make sure that let the eagle perch, let the kite perch. But this idea of eagle perch, let the kite die, it is not fair, it is wickedness and insensitivity. Because what is sweet for the woman who is carrying pregnancy is also sweet for the man who gave the woman pregnant.
Absolutely.
Who gave her pregnant.
PDP wants intending defectors to leave before national convention.
They should leave so we know where they are. It's a very good call. But then some people have rushed to defecting, and you see that the writer in one of the newspapers, I think from the top, he said oppositions are considering, opposition governors reconsider move to APC. Yesterday in the Trust newspaper, there was this big bus, luxurious bus that was boldly marked APC in front. I will see some fat belly, the politician jumping into the bus
and dropping.
You see the luggage that drop on the ground.
Umbrellas.
Some of them were broken umbrella. Some of them were, whatever that means. They want to travel light to wear the moving bus. But then their weight spoiled the bus, and they abandoned that one and jumped in. So wherever they're jumping in, their weight will soon ground that bus, and they will look for where else to
some
jump.
people are saying since they are all rushing to one party, very soon there's going to be some kind of disagreement, because these are the
where are they rushing there? They are rushing there for positions, and you cannot.
And they will not all get. And they will not all get what they want.
So they will continue to run. Once you begin to jump ship, you will continue to be a jumper. And one day, someday, we'll call these politicians to go and represent Nigeria in the Olympics. We need high jump people, athletes.
All right.
One man, one gun.
As if you knew, that was what I wanted us to talk about.
And that's in the Sunday Independent.
Sunday Independent.
It's a rise of agitation for self-defense. What is paining me is that over the time, Nigerian security agencies have mopped up all the den guns and the double bars and single bars that people were using to hunt and actually safeguard themselves. So, after mopping it up with the police, going back and share these guns they mopped, there is a lot of insincerity when it comes to our we are insincere in so many things, and this our insincerity is part of the thing that haunted Nigeria. Why at this time, when you know to even secure. When people are hungry, they can buy a mugu of beans selling for 3,000 naira before. It's over 15,000 now. That's what they were abandoned to go and buy some of these double bargain that are almost 500,000. I don't know where, but there's a rider on that thing where say can backs USP stock with Maduka. Fine. There is always room for peace if we want. Because Pauline Talin, who is the former minister of women affairs in Nigeria, a strong politician from Benue said, federal government can stop killings in Middle Belt if it wants. And I add my voice. Federal government can stop killings in Nigeria if it wants. It's not only Benue that we're calling about, but we can understand Pauline Talin's stand when he's calling for Benue because Ebonyi be corner watching. Sure. But we are also having tests of terrorism, killings, kidnapping, and all that in all parts of Nigeria. So what is good for the geese is also good for the gander. So exit threats. Nigeria calls Meta bluff. Insist on legal accountability. Meta, if you want to operate in Nigeria, let's have legal accountability because this is our territory. And if you are doing business in anybody's territory, you should obey the local laws and do it right.
True.
Because it's not good to come and only mind your pocket. And in Igbo land, we say, so if Meta is making money, Nigeria, because the followers of Meta are in abundance, because they struck gold, Nigeria has population. They should also know whatever is going to destroy Nigeria is not good for us. Action before opposition by stakeholders says opposition must prioritize internal cohesion.
All right.
These are something that oppositions, Nigerian politicians do not care.
Absolutely.
They are people who are selfish. They only care about their political moves. They don't even care about national cohesion when they take certain decisions. Otherwise, there are certain positions you hold. You don't have to defect. When you want to defect, you drop everything, defect alone.
Well, we're still hopeful things will turn out for the better. We may not know how, but if we don't have hope, what then do we have?
Well, it's the hope that it still kept us there. Otherwise, we would have jackpot like other Nigerians. The hope that it will get better. Our worry is that every day we cry for hope, and their hope seems to be far. But we know God is hearing our prayers for hope, better Nigeria.
Indeed.
God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. God bless you, Chris. Maduka.
Thank you, Chigi.
Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Thank you for still staying with us. New Day continues right after this break. Do stay with us.
Signature TV. News in your pocket.